God's sake. Hello, my sparkly little unicorns, and welcome to 2018. We are finally in 2018, and I kind of just wanted to film a video and just sort of reflect on 2017, where I want to go in 2018, and just sort of have a chat with you, really. We are here today. We are not upstairs in my office. My camera charger has broken and I can't plug it in, and I can't plug in my lights or anything, and I don't get much light in my office, so I've come by my big window here, so it's lighter, but you also have a view of my washing. Welcome to 2018. As you guys know, I started this channel as like a therapy session for me. It's a way of getting my feelings out and dealing with my confidence issues, with my anxiety issues, and it's helped so much. Unfortunately though, this last week, sort of the first week of 2018, I've been miserable. I've been absolutely miserable. That Monday through to like the Saturday morning, I have just been miserable, and I've been trying to work out why, and I think I've cracked it now. There's a few things that has happened that I've not really chatted to you about, and I will explain that. There's a lot of stuff happening that I can't explain to you right now, but will do. Let's first reflect on 2017. 2017 was better than 2016. 2016 was the worst year of my entire life. I cannot explain to you. You guys know my dad passed away in 2016, and that was the worst year of my life. 2017 for me was a year of discovering me, trying to fix me, because obviously all of that has such a mental toll on you, and I had issues beforehand that I thought I was doing well with, and then just more issues came in. The beginning of 2017 didn't kick off well. My granddad passed away at the beginning of 2017, and that was just, that's naff. We're coming up to the anniversary of his death now. So my first goal for 2018, as morbid as it sounds, is that I don't lose anyone. That's how morbid is that? But that is something that I am like rooting for this year. Jesus Christ. 2017 started out in this house. I love this house. Like, I cannot explain to you how much I love this house. I wake up every morning like, oh my god, I'm so glad I'm in this house. I'm going to shut the door though because I'm absolutely frozen. My business was failing, like, massively. If you guys don't know, I sold plus size clothing, and unfortunately manufacturers in other countries were producing that for much cheaper, and I could not keep up with the prices that they were charging and the postage, and it just, on that platform I just couldn't keep up. Although it was great for how long it was and it was making money and I was happy, it couldn't keep going. As you guys know, I've spoken to you about it, that's what I did for so many years, and I was very happy doing it. And then we know sort of halfway through the year, I started working care. I have experience in care, I don't mind the job, and I was happy. I was getting out, I was meeting people, I was doing something good, I was helping, you know, elderly people, and I felt like my life meant something. Unfortunately, towards the end of the year, I got quite poorly. I had a stomach infection, and that spread, which I didn't even know you could actually happen, to like an inner ear issue, causing me to have vertigo. Now, the only way I can describe having vertigo is being drunk on a ship. That's the only way I can describe it. It is horrific, and it was that bad that I was actually signed off for half a month to try and get over it and everything, which wasn't ideal. Like, I hadn't really been there sort of a few months at this job and already being signed off, not brilliant. I started to feel better after those 2 weeks off. Because of the nature of being in care, because of the nature of that job, I could not work whilst I had this, because it's dangerous. It's a danger to me, it's a danger to other members of staff, and it's a danger to the residents. Because obviously my job involves using machinery to move, lift people. People's lives are literally in our hands. You know, you drop a frail, elderly, vulnerable person, it has a toll on their body, more so than if you drop me, you know, because their bodies are older, you know. So it was very important that I didn't hurt anyone. So I went back after this had cleared up and everything, and that was great. And I went back for a bit, I felt okay. And then these symptoms started coming back again, and I'm thinking, this is not good. And I tried and tried to keep going. I kept going in, but I was having more sick days because I couldn't do the job. I was having to go home because I couldn't do the job. And eventually I sort of just went home, and the manager sort of rang me and she said, you know, do you want to go on to bank? Bank caring is you pick up shifts when they need you, when you can, type of thing. And I was all for that. Unfortunately, on a day that I thought I was fine. Now, usually I'll wake up in the morning and I'll know whether vertigo is going to hit in or not. And I woke up on a day when I thought I was fine. It had been a couple of days since I'd been in work. I had a couple of days off, and this was like my third day off. And I woke up, went to the loo, stood up, feeling fine, thinking, right, today is a good day, fantastic, I can do this, I can do bank, it'll be fine, because I know the days that I'm okay. And I stood up and just went, and I slammed into the wall, smacked my head, you know, wasn't concussed, but I went flying. And that was on a day I thought I was okay. Now, if you put that I am holding a piece of machinery, handling machinery, I could hurt someone. Handling a resident, like even just turning them or anything like that, even just taking a cup of tea. If I tripped, fall everywhere. So I had to make the decision that I couldn't do that job anymore. I went back to the doctors, and he basically clarified what I thought. The nature of the job was causing these symptoms. Bending down too quickly, moving heavier loads. You know, I'm not talking like small people, I'm talking like 18, 19 stone people, you know, was causing the issue. And unfortunately, the doctor clarified these symptoms were the result of being in that job. So unfortunately, I had to leave. I feel like I've been lying to you guys, not because I didn't want to tell you, but because I felt ashamed. Like I failed. And I know in the logical part of my brain, I did the right thing. I can't go and hurt people for the sake of a paycheck. I can't do that. And try and get better, which is what I've been doing. It's why I sort of went more quiet. Why the vlog was quite quiet, because I just had so many days where I was like, what the hell am I going to do? On the sidelines of that, I do have obviously a lot of experience in online retail. Prior to that, I have experience in admin. So I was desperately applying to like admin jobs. I know I can sit in a desk, it's fine, it's not a problem. You know, I can do day-to-day things, I just cannot do that demanding job. And it is a demanding job. I just cannot do that. I got nothing back on admin jobs because I've been out of admin for so long. I think people are just like skimming over. I mean, we all know in England at the moment, trying to get a job is hard work. There aren't as many jobs as there are people searching for them. And it was horrible. I just felt in this permanent state of limbo. I'd failed everyone around me. I couldn't contribute anymore, not to the extent that I was. And you know, it's Christmas, my dad's not there, my granddad's not there, everything was just so different. You know, I just felt very, very, very low, and that's the honest truth. Like, towards the end of 2017, it was awful. I just wanted to hide away. A plus thing though, something has happened. I can't talk about it yet, and I want to talk about it, and hopefully sort of next week I can talk to you guys about this. But I have found something that I am going to be doing. It's so exciting, it's so incredibly exciting, but I can't talk to you about it yet. I hate when YouTubers do that. Well, there's these things coming, but I can't tell you about it. Unfortunately, I have to do that. But there is an up. I don't want this to be a completely downward thing. It is an up. Started the year quite low because unfortunately I can't do this thing for quite a while, possibly months. But I can't go and do anything else because I am committed to this thing. The first week of 2018 was me just sat. I was having the period from hell. You guys know, if you've been here for a while, I have PCOS, and touch wood, although everything seems to be pretty much like back to normal, and I did have a scan of my ovaries and they're saying it's a lot better. Technically I'm not even in the category for PCOS anymore. I didn't even know that was a thing. You could actually lose cysts and sort of fix yourself, sort of. But the weight loss seems to have done quite a good thing and everything seems to be fine. But every sort of 3-4 months I will get the period from hell. And that's what it was. Like, I couldn't really leave the house. I didn't leave the house. I didn't leave the house for a week. So on Saturday, I decided I needed to lift myself out of this funk. My period was ending, so that was probably like one of the main reasons I felt so much better. But the main thing that actually lifted me out was I wrote a letter to myself in 2015. And I was meant to read it 1 year on. And the purpose of the letter was, one, to express my feelings. I didn't have YouTube then, obviously. But the purpose of the letter was to express my feelings and get it all out there and write a letter to my future self in 1 year's time to see where I am, to tell me how bad I felt at that moment in time back in 2015, how bad I felt and how miserable I was, and to hopefully see that in a year's time that I've made progress, that I am happier, that I am in a better place, that what I'm doing is so much better than where I was. Or it is a bit of a gamble that in a year's time things are 10 times worse and I feel absolutely rubbish. In 2015 my dad was still around. At that moment in time writing that letter, I cannot for the life of you tell me what was happening, but in that letter I barely spoke about him. I said, you know, I hope he's all right. See, I hate saying this because it's really difficult to explain, but he wasn't as bad as he was. And I think in my own head, even though I said in the letter, you know, I've made acceptance with it, you know, he is going to die at some point, I don't think I had. And that's why this paragraph was like this big, because I hadn't really dealt with it. So this tiny paragraph literally just said, I hope he's still all right. That's all I had to say. And obviously in a year's time, or just over a year's time, that he wouldn't be with us anymore. And obviously reading this letter, he isn't with us anymore. And trying to explain why I'm miserable and why I'm unhappy, people don't understand, because if I was looking in, people don't understand. That's the problem with depression, that's the problem with anxiety. Trying to pull myself out of this funk, that letter did it. It was almost like I gave myself a bollocking from past me. Past me brought me out of this funk, and some of those feelings I am feeling now, but a lot of them I'm not. In the letter, for example, as you guys know, anxiety was a huge thing for me. Going out in public was a huge thing for me. But it was at the point where I was pretty much agoraphobic, and I could only really go out with Mark to my parents or to the supermarket, you know, and that bubble was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. The idea of like just going for a walk, or even myself on my own walking around to my parents, was just too much. And I said I hadn't seen anyone apart from my mum, my dad and my sister and Mark. I hadn't seen anyone else for 2 months. 2 months I will have been in that house. That's insane. I wanted to go running. That was another thing I put in. I wanted to start running, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. And it literally said, I hope you did it. I hope you went out and I hope you ran on your own. I did do that. And it says, I hope you can go and swim. Because for me, getting in a swimming costume, going in a swimming pool, I mean, it's still a form of anxiety for me. But I did it. I love swimming. I talk about swimming all the time. You know, guys know I love it. So I did do that. Go out and dancing. That's something. I mean, granted, I go out, have a couple of drinks, and then, you know, alter ego kicks in. And then I'll dance, you know. But just dancing normally, like, yeah, I can do that now. I can leave the house on my own. I got a job, met people, went into town on my own. I have come so far from that letter. It was like, sorry, I've got hair in my eye. It was like a huge kick up the arse that I think I needed. And it sort of brought me out of that funk. So moving forward, 2018. 2018 is going to be amazing. And I'm going to sit here this year or next year, the beginning of next year, and I'm going to talk to you about how amazing this year has been. Because it's going to be. Because it has to be. And no deaths in 2018. Whoop whoop. So thank you ever so much for watching, guys. I don't know how long I've made this video. I've been talking to you for 40 minutes and I'm not going to put up a 40-minute video because it's literally just me whining. 2018, let's do this. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.